Good morning, my 10, 20, maybe 30 faithful friends on YouTube who might be watching this video right now. Um, it's been like 5 months since I last posted a video. The last time it was about The Incredibles 2. Um, Obviously, I am, like I've said before on here, I don't do YouTube for a living. I have a life. Sometimes I do dance classes, which I need to get back to, actually. I also had a sister getting married over the course of Christmas, so that was a bit hectic in and of itself. And I had a frog in my throat the first or second week of the year. It's all been pretty crazy, but I still want to do updates with this channel, and it's been quite a while, so here we go. One of the things I mentioned in my last video, which only had 2 views, but I don't mind. I mentioned that I was going to do a video about the Pixar theory. Maybe it wasn't the last one. It was one of the last ones I did. Maybe not the last. Anyway, I believe that the Pixar theory being flouted by some people, by a lot of people, is totally bogus, and on top of that, totally stupid. And I have one vital piece of evidence to prove that the Pixar theory is just a huge fabrication and is non existent. Again, you do have some isolated pockets between franchises where you do have some connections, like Ratatouille and The Incredibles. They are undeniably in the same universe because Bon Voyage appears in both of them mid film. Bon Voyage is like the pantomime in the background of Ratatouille and that roller skating scene. Obviously, having escaped from the supers in North America, decided to run to France. Anyway, except for those very limited, isolated connections between Pixar movies like that, there is no overall Pixar universe where all the movies are connected. And it all boils down to one simple little piece of evidence: the toys. That's right. To disprove the Pixar theory, all one has to do is go to the very first franchise that created the Pixar universe, or Pixar storytelling, whatever. So we throughout the course of the Toy Story movies, we see that the toys are obviously shy around humans. Whenever a human enters the area, the toys will all become inanimate and pretend that they can't move. Except for really, really bad kids like Sid. They'll animate just to freak out kids like Sid and stop them from hurting the toys. But by and large, they don't just come to life around people. But that said, toys don't mind coming to life in front of animals. The dog from Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3, who showed up at the end of Toy Story 1 as a Christmas present. I forget his name at the moment. I think he's a little Dachshund or something like that. But the toys summoned him all the time, and they would use him as like a horse and just ride him around the house. I mean, and Sid's dog. I mean, in the first Toy Story movie, Sid's dog saw the toys coming to life, and he chased them. I mean, the toys in the Toy Story universe, they did not mind coming to life in front of animals, in front of non-humans. Now, why is it that maybe we don't see in Finding Nemo or Finding Dory? I'm not sure if there are any toys in those movies, but you don't see any examples of toys coming to life in front of the fish or the seals or the seagulls. I'm sure the dentist probably has some toys in his office. I mean, why didn't the fish interact with the toys in the office? Simply because the toys are truly inanimate objects in Finding Nemo. I mean, if it was all an interconnected universe, the toys would still come to life in Finding Nemo and still help the fish or something like that. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to know that the Toy Story, that the Pixar theory, like I said, is totally stupid and unfounded. Other non-humans, most notably the monsters. I mean, the monsters they're pretty close to humans, but they're not humans. I mean, they're closer to, they're like a mix between animals and humans, but the important fact of the matter is toys wouldn't have to be afraid of exposing themselves to the monsters because the monsters just go in for brief intervals of time. And, I mean, if Monsters Incorporated was in the same universe as Toy Story, and I get it, you know, in Monsters Inc., you do see an inanimate Jessie doll, and you see that little yellow, blue, red star ball. You see that also in Monsters Inc., so I get it. You have some Toy Story toys showing up, but again, there's no coming to life. I mean, in Monsters University, you see the monsters just dumping toys all over the floor. You don't see those toys getting up and trying to escape from the monsters to go back into the human universe or whatever. Or even, I was thinking about this morning. If Monsters Inc. and if Toy Story were in the same connected universe, I mean, but I don't know when the first Monsters Inc. happened. Like, I mean, obviously in modern times, but when in modern times did it happen? Did it happen before Toy Story 3 or after Toy Story 3? I mean, you kind of expect that in Toy Story 3 that the toys at one point would turn around to maybe see the closet door opening and a monster creeping up to either A, scare Bonnie while she's sleeping, or B, if this is after Monsters Incorporated, the monsters coming in and trying to tell jokes to make Bonnie laugh. You don't, I mean, you know, that whole scene where the toys, where Woody and Trixie and the other toys are talking about Lotso's origin, and they're trying to find out where Andy's house is in relation to Bonnie's house. You don't see, in that course of time, if it were a connected universe, you don't see a monster suddenly opening up the closet and coming in to try to tell jokes to Bonnie or try to scare the daylights out of her. So, I mean, that just falls flat on its face right there. I mean, if it were a connected universe, monsters would be trying to either laugh or scare Bonnie. Or in the Monsters Inc. universe, you would see toys still trying to interact with the monsters because the monsters aren't human. And point number 3 I would like to make, still, of course, regarding to the toys, technology. In one of the stupidest twists ever, you see that toys, they're shy around people. They won't animate when people are in the room, but they don't mind animating in front of security cameras. I mean, it's like the stupidest plot point ever. I mean, it's just an indirect way of telling humans, hello, we're toys, and we come to life. Just look at your video feed. Just look at those recordings. And that happened over the course of the night. You'll see toys walking around. We're alive. I mean, the charade is up, toys. Why even hide yourselves from humans at that point? I mean, come on. You're already moving in front of security cameras. There's no need to hide from humans anymore. You can show who you are because humans can see what you're doing on security cameras at night. I mean, that said, the technology aspect. WALL-E. Remember WALL-E? All alone on that dystopian version of Earth where it's just him and he's collecting a bunch of stuff. Well, some of the stuff he collects are toys. I mean, you even see one of those little tricky cubes, a rubric or whatever, those colorful cubes that you have to, like, I never was able to solve those puzzles. But anyway, he has those. I mean, sure, he had quite a few toys in his collection. And obviously, the toys aren't camera shy. So why aren't they interacting with Wally? I mean, Wally's lonely. I mean, he's pretty much the new kid, so wouldn't the toys have a responsibility to help Wally feel happy in his set of circumstances? I mean, he has to turn to a cockroach. You toys could do better than the little cockroach. I mean, I like the cockroach, by the way. I'm just saying. The toys, it's all interconnected in the fact that it's not interconnected. I just used toys to prove how the whole thing with the Pixar theory is bogus and stupid. So, you're welcome for finally putting this whole thing of the Pixar theory to rest. And I bid you a wonderful morning, and I hope to be doing more content in the future. Sorry about that. I hope to be doing more content in the future. So, to the 3-5 people watching this video, I hope you're having an awesome day, and God bless.